tonight. Bucks just a win away from being crowned champs. But why doesn't Giannis get the respect that he deserves? The Green Bay Packers report in a week. Will the MVP be there when they do? And Jameis Winston, the work, the fun, the oddities, all of it. It never, ever stops. Good Tuesday morning, everyone.
What's going on now?
Welcome to First Things First, along with Nick and Brandon and Kevin Wilds. I'm Jenna Wolf. Brandon, is there any reasonable football thing that's happening here with Jameis Winston? Is there something I should know that I don't know? Is it run for your life and be a better quarterback?
Jenna, I don't know. JW been following this guy all off season. He knows better than I do. Kevin, come on, help me out here.
I'll be there. Stay tuned. I'm all over it.
Did I say JW or did I say KW?
You
did. No, you wanted my mom.
JW, but that's
JW.
It works.
But you should also
Jenna
see
putting that in my
knowledge in
head
me
talking
all
about
the time.
JW.
I know. We got a JW and a KW. We got to start with tonight's Game 6. My bad, Brandon. I'll take that one. Hey, the finals ship back to Milwaukee tonight. And for the Bucks, their big advantage in this one, momentum after 3 big wins over Phoenix. And now, here we are. Chance to close out their first title in 50 years on their home court. The Phoenix Suns have something to say about that, though. Chris Paul did the same yesterday with a little perspective headed into Game 6. Take a listen to this.
Mid-level. It's definitely exciting. Something that coach and everybody been saying, if you went to the beginning of the season and said we had a chance to be where we are right now, would you take it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we get a chance to determine the outcome. You know, it's not like the game is going to be simulated or somebody else got to play. You know, we get a chance. We control our own destiny.
As a team, we got to be disciplined. We can worry about that. We cannot have plans about none of celebrating, none of that until it's done, you know, and that's the mindset I'm going to have until tomorrow.
Oh, you better get high.
Tonight's game, not a simulation, by the way. Just learned that. Hey, Bucks are only the 4th team in NBA Finals history to go up 3-2 after being down 0-2. And again, they can close it out tonight at home. But Nick, exactly. Nick, will the Suns, though, force a Game 7 this evening?
No, unfortunately for basketball fans, we will not be getting a Game 7. Best thing in sports, an NBA Finals Game 7. We will be deprived of it once again this season. And here's the thing. While Brandon might not know it, Chris Paul does. I think Chris Paul's comments there were very interesting. It's like, well, at the beginning of the season, we'd have loved to be in this position. That's like, if you'd have told Brandon Marshall the day he walked onto UCF's campus, one day you're going to go to your bank and they're going to say you have $1 million in there, he'd say, oh my God, how amazing. But if Brandon Marshall went to his bank this morning and had $1 million in there, he'd cry and pass out. Say, what happened? So the Suns, at the beginning of the season, up to a down 3-2 in the finals sounds great. But a week ago, up 2-0 in the finals, down 3-2 sounds literally the worst case scenario. And here's the problem for your adopted Phoenix Suns, Brandon. You look at the numbers, and you're like, wait, why aren't they ahead in the series? They are, as a team, almost shooting 50, 40, 90. They're 50, 40, 86. Booker's averaging 30. Chris Paul's averaging 21 and 11. Ayton's averaging 15 and 13. Okay, did we have any huge injuries? Well, we lost Saric, but that's not that big of a deal. So why aren't we in a better position? And it's because the Suns' defense has abandoned them entirely. Zach Lowe pointed it out yesterday, and I want to reiterate it here. The Bucks' offensive rating in this series is 119. That would have been the best in the entire NBA, even better than the Brooklyn Nets over the course of the season. The Suns cannot get stops. The Suns cannot rebound the ball. And because of that, Brandon, the Suns cannot win this series.
Of course they can't. Blasphemy to talk about the Suns and can they force a Game 7. Why? Everything you said, the reason why is because you have 3 aberration games. You have Mr. Inconsistent, who I love, but we've been talking about it all year. Mr. Inconsistent right here, Chris Middleton, who now all of a sudden he wants to be Mr. Consistent in the finals. And then you have Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, we're saying, wow, he's a bust. This was a bad pickup just a couple series ago. And now this dude last game goes 27 points and 13 assists. Yes, we were talking about a little bit, talking about, oh man, Drew Holiday, is he going to step up? Is he going to add anything on the offense?
That's right.
Yeah, listen, I'm fudging it a little bit. Yeah, that's fine, but it's 3 aberration games. You go back to Game 3, and what happened? You had the big 3, the trio, the Bucks trio, go out there and play the most efficient game they've ever played in the postseason. They were, 47% or better? And then you go to game 4, and all of a sudden you got the foul situation, and then you have CP3, point guard, dribbling the ball off his legs. And then you go back to the last game, and what did we see? We saw it again. The big 3 go lights out. We're not getting that again, Wilds. I'm sorry. So those were 3 aberration games in a row. That's not going to happen again. Nick just said it. The Suns were a top 10 defense and offense all year. They are the better team. They just need to buckle down, and like CP3 said, we're in a good situation. Nobody thought we would be here. Nobody. That's it. They just need a little positive self-talk and reinforcement. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to the Suns or you're talking to yourself there, buddy? Because I don't know if the Suns are awake right now. But that seems more too
I can't go another sleepless night.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Okay, so you know how they teams somehow bring in celebrity guests before the game? Like you bring in The Rock, and The Rock talks about intensity. Or you bring in Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg talks about determination. Or you bring in Brandon Marshall, he talks about like, hey, maybe you lower the hoop down to 9'8", like we do at House of Athlete. Like that seems to work for me. So here's what the Suns should do. Bring in Daryl Morey. You got to pay him 20 grand to get him there. He comes, he flies in. He's like, all right, let's hear the big speech. And Daryl Morey can get in front of the Suns and say, hey, guys, shoot more threes. See you later. Shoot. That's it. That's all you got to do. The Suns are 9-2 when they shoot more than 30 threes. Game 1, they shot 34 threes. Guess what? They won. Game 2, they shot 43. Guess what? They won. Games 3, 4, and 5, they stopped shooting threes, even though they were shooting them really well. So Chris Paul was asked about it in yesterday's press conference. Take a listen, and here's what he said.
I think we just got to figure out a way to generate more threes. If that's penetrating, it doesn't just have to be me and Devin. That's the way we done played all season long, is penetrating the gaps, finding Kale.